So I thought it'd be fun to talk about some games I've been playing this past year since it's coming to an end. A few games I've been playing on the PS3 I've been going back to playing Fallout New Vegas again. I just been going back to doing that since that one's pretty fun. But also over the years I noticed I've been playing more of my PS3 games more than the PS4 lately. So I also been playing more of Max Payne 3 on that. And then I've also been playing GTA 4 a lot more for nostalgia. And then there were a few games on the PS4 I did play on my wrap that came up for the year. But also Evil Within was a good one too. I forgot to add that one. But I would say the most games I have played was my number one spot. Surprisingly, it was Fortnite because that's the one I play with my friends the most. Then the second one was Fallout 4. Came the closest on my PS4. Then around like the third spot was, I believe, Persona 3. And then I'm still trying to finish that game. That's on my list, but that one's taking a bit longer than I thought. But I would say it's as good as 5. I do visit 5 every now and then, but it's a process. And then the next one was RE5. I played co-op with my friend. That was another one we finished in about a few hours over the course of a few days. We did all that. And then the last game on my top 5 was Devil May Cry 5. But I didn't spend much time on the system as much as I thought I did. And I believe it was like 49 or 48 different games this year, according to my 2025 wrap. But other ones that didn't really pop up that I did play were Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition. Still been playing that. The hardest game there is. I still play the Evil Within. And the new games I just started playing. I tried to play Silk Song, but I haven't gotten that far. Then I did play some Jedi Survivor. Then I did go back and visit Red Dead 1 and 2 at some point. I would say Battlefield 4 is still my go-to to play online on my shooter. I really haven't played much of Call of Duty anymore, except for the only time I did play BO7 was when the beta came out. I did play some of the multiplayer and zombies. I didn't think that was bad, but I know a lot of people didn't complain about the campaign. I didn't get a chance to play that yet, but I don't plan to go any further with that one. I did also try to play Alan Wake, or try to get into it, but I really didn't get that far. And I thought it'd be more like Silent Hill, because Silent Hill's another game I wanted to play this year, but I haven't had a chance yet. And like I said, I didn't get that far, but I noticed it was just more like detective work, and then it made me just turn away again, but I just wasn't interested at the time. Well, one game I am looking forward to is RE9, since that comes out in February. I'm ready to get my hands on that whenever that comes out in February. So that's one game I'm looking forward to. And I've been playing RE4 again. That's what made me want to play that one again. I'm playing it on professional, but right now professional difficulties, I've already completed it once, but trying to redo it again is already getting a pain in the ass. I'm on chapter 7 and trying to go back and forth a lot. That's one thing I'm trying to do, just to do a different play style. But every now and then I'll do it and try to give it a shot again. I also would like to play Dispatch eventually, but I already watched gameplay of it on YouTube, on Moist Critical, when it came out, and I didn't feel like waiting because I was away and I didn't have my and I hadn't have a PS5 yet, so I just went ahead and just watched all the gameplay and watched all the videos and lore on it. So I'm like, it just didn't happen. But actually, going back to Resident Evil 6, I do think it's a overhated game because I do have a lot of nostalgia for it, especially for Leon's campaign. I had a lot of fun playing that one again, mainly because I have a lot of memories of playing with co-op on that one and Chris's campaign, where it's just a lot of fun. I think the reason that game got overhated a lot was because most people just play on single player, and because it's just not meant to play it unless you're playing with someone else or a friend, because I did play with a different friend of mine too at the time when it first came out, and I think that's why I like to replay it every now and then, especially around the time it came out, around that year, and that's why I have more fond memories of it, and I know why that's why other people don't like it. But I mean, I wasn't a big fan of Ada's campaign, and I think Jake's campaign's okay, but that's why I like it, and I go back and still play it every now and then, personally. And now talking more in depth on Max Payne 3. Now, I have a story behind when I first played Max Payne 3. It was because me and my little brother first got locked out of our house, and we went to our neighbor's house, and our neighbor had it, and then my brother played it, and then he just let us borrow it for a few days, and then I got hooked on the gameplay, and eventually I had to give it back, and then the game was so good, it's like I wanted to go out and go buy it one day at the local GameStop, and then I just got hooked on it more and more over the years, where I just appreciated the story of Max Payne, of who Max was, of how tragic the character was, of him dealing with alcoholism, losing his family, because it was the first Max Payne I played, and I would say it is still my favorite one. I did play some of the first one, and then I've seen a little bit of the story of the second one, but the third one's still my favorite, and it's the one I visited the most often, and I know people have called it Rockstar cynicism, and I know it's some people don't like this one and as the favorite Max Payne, but I mean I do, because it is just my favorite. I know some people still do like it out of Max Payne's, but I just know people didn't like the tone shift, but I mean, you know, it is a more cynical tone, and I just like those kind of stories that it tells, and kind of similar to GTA 4 for what it was going for, and just a lot of the quotes and dry humor Max has. I just like those characters a lot, especially with similar characters like John Marston and characters like him, and I'm just happy with the ending in the game, and just revisiting like New York Minute, and then I did have some fun with the multiplayer, you know, back when I was younger, but you know, I visiting the story, it's still, I just love to go back to it every now and then. Then what else can I say about Devil May Cry is I do switching back and forth for a lot between Devil May Cry 5 and 3, because, well, 5 I play a lot just for the gameplay, and then just for combat. It's just that's my best one for combat. I would say that's the best one in the series for combat. I have played the first one. 2 I did skip just because I knew how that one was, and I've seen it. And then I did skip 4 because I thought about getting it, but I just didn't go through the trouble of it. And then I have played 3, and I mean, I would say 3 does have the best story, and I do like playing that one a lot because I just like playing as Dante the most. I'm just not a big fan of the combat in that one, where it's kind of where they don't let you style switch all the time unless you go go to the statue and do it. I wasn't a big fan of that when I first played it, but after a while I got used to it. But there are times where I'm annoyed where it's like I wish I can just switch my weapons in Devil's Arms. Like I'm used to it in Devil May Cry 5 and then there are just times even when I first played Devil May Cry 5, I just wish I could just play as Dante and just instead of Nero. I mean, I don't mind playing as Nero. I see what they were trying to go for, but I wasn't a big fan of playing as V. But, I mean, overall, they both have their strengths and weaknesses. But, I mean, they're both pretty good games. Good games, but, and that's just how they were designed. I do like Fallout a lot. I am a big fan of the series. And when Fallout 4 first came out, I was a big fan of it. I played a lot of hours into it. And then over time, I still play it. But I can't play it without mods. I wish I had the DLC. I wish I did, because then I could play more of the mods with it. But I'm like, dude, I wish I had. I just wish there was more content looking back at it. Like, if I had to nitpick everything about Fallout 4, I just wish there were more variety in guns and just certain things I could do in the game with the guns and just certain character choices and role playing in that game. Although it's not a bad game, I still like to play it, but I think because I try to role play as a cowboy this last playthrough, and there's only like I think one or two like magnums or revolvers in there, and then there's only like the one other pistol is the pipe pistol, and then the 10mm, and then I'm like, yeah, not much variety. And then you can try to add mods on the console, but there's only so much you can do. But it's Fallout 4, so I still have love-hate relationship with some stuff, but hey, that's where they got New Vegas to do more role play on, but that's just my opinion.